this is Harriet, and she's named after my great-grandmother. Harriet Chatwin Lowe, with phallic monument in the background. I'm an Australian artist. We're sitting in my studio, which is at the back of my house. I work very slowly. It's like a drip dripping onto stone. So it could be a brushstroke a month or something like that. The women's art movement actually brought politics into my practice. It was like opening a gate, and here we were in this country where we were just thinking about, well, what have women been doing and what do they do? And, you know, looking back in history, you know, and just seeing a big void. Mother's Memories, Others' Memories were strongly influenced by my relationship to my own mother. I'd been teaching around the suburbs of Sydney, and most of those classes were with women, and they really lit up when they were talking about things to do with family and the family album. And you can see it in all sorts of ways if you wake up to it, but it's trivialised. All the family albums, trivialised. When you open your eyes to it, when you look, when you really start to empathise, these things, these trivial things, have these connections to the deepest foundations of our humanity, you know. I saw people pulling apart their feelings and memories and so on of family and kind of putting them together again in often quite awkward ways, but nonetheless that process I could see was absolutely significant. Getting people involved to do this provided them with an actual physical, practical way of articulating and working through their questions. After Mother's Memories, I did a project called Full Flight, where I went to central New South Wales and I travelled around in a caravan, stopping in country towns and developing a short program, maybe did a mural and so on with people there. I worked in community situations from the early 70s up to the early 80s, and I was exhausted. And the other thing was, I was absolutely full of this knowledge of cultural experience that I'd gained over these 10 years. And I just felt up to here, and I had to take time to process that. I did a series of paintings, and it didn't matter what came out on the surface. I had to come to terms with it and come to understand it. The aftermath and the icon of fear came to sort of embody and express all of that stuff. A lot of that painting also is about me, you know, using the brush, putting the paint on, you know, getting back in touch with it. It's an interesting painting because it had all these dramatic elements in it. In the background is the atom bomb cloud. At that time we were still really fearful and concerned about atomic energy. You know, we ought to be more concerned about it now, but it was important because of the energy and what it stood for in terms of this explosion and getting it out. I never want to throw any bit out, you know, so all of these bits and pieces, and they, I don't know, they go back, I collect them, and they just sit here for years, really. Oh, stuck, I'll have to, oh, here we are. These show you some of the variations, and it can take me months or even years for the penny to drop. When I say to work out, it's kind of waiting for those little moments of inspiration. It's saying, oh yeah, I can do it that way. This is a nice one. Here, I like this one. Now I can make my own combs. I can buy this from a hardware store, and then I can cut it to make the teeth. Tell me if I'm too fast. And it's all acrylic that I use. This is my discovery when I discovered that acrylic is not oil paint. It opened up a whole new, you know, I wasn't necessarily making a painting. I was actually making a moulded plastic surface. You set off to make art and you don't know what you're doing half the time, or you might have an idea, but it's in the actual process, almost unbeknown to you, at these subconscious levels, these significant levels that shape and help us to evolve as human beings.